welcome to another RSR. Tonight we are predicting the NFC and AFC championship games on Sunday, of course. Doing this today because tomorrow we'll be live for Man City versus Chelsea tomorrow morning. And even though that video is probably going to bomb out like the Hindenburg, I'm not doubling up anyway. I'm going to give it a chance. So today we do the conference championship prediction videos. Tomorrow we do Man City Chelsea live review. Then Sunday we'll be live for the AFC championship game and review both games. We will not be live for the NFC championship because I just want to do one. If it was the Lions, I'd do both. Let's be honest. But Washington kind of has a similar storyline, but whatever. We're watching both. I'm just live for one and reviewing both after the AFC title game's over. But with that being said, let's move to the predictions. The NFC championship game, Washington Commanders at Philadelphia Eagles. For me, I got the Washington Commanders. I do not believe in the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't. Yeah, Saquon's amazing. Got it. Their defense is solid against two quarterbacks that, frankly, Jordan Love, half injured. Matt Stafford got injured during the game. Snow game, older. Jaden Daniels, they already lost to him earlier in the year. I know their quarterback was a backup. I think most of the team was still in place when that game happened. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that Jaden Daniels beats them again. Jaden Daniels has played perfect football throughout this whole month. This whole run of games during the playoffs, he's played perfect football. Now, of course, the Eagles are probably the best defense he's faced. This is actually a good defense. Truly a good defense. Not like the Lions where Anzalone beat the hell out of the Vikings and they're like, maybe they're just fine. Or the Bucks where they were just trash. We knew they were trash. This defense, Eagles defense, is pretty good. That is the plus for Philadelphia. But for me, Jalen Hurts has not had that good of a playoff. I think he's done just enough to survive. I think Saquon has carried him at times. But I do believe that for some reason, the Washington Commanders are going to win this game in Philly. I just do. It's not because I don't want to see Philly win. It's not that. It's more because I think Washington can win. I think they can win. Nobody thought they'd beat the Lions. What happened? Hell, barely. It was 50-50. There were people who thought they could beat the Bucks, but I didn't. I think it was 60-40 towards Tampa, depending on where you looked. Could have been 60-40 towards Washington, depending on where you looked. But it was either a little bit more thought Washington could win, a little bit more thought Tampa could win. But it was a little bit closer. But nobody vocalized it, at least, that they thought Washington could beat Detroit. Now, Detroit fans were like, this might not be the best matchup for our defense, but that's as far as it went. For me, I think they could beat the Eagles. The Eagles have not shown anything that I've wanted to see at all this month. They're supposed to be this juggernaut of a football team, right? And they're not. A.J. Brown, not doing much. Passing game, non-existent. Now you could say, but they have Saquon Barkley, right? It doesn't have to exist. This is a game where the Commanders could drop points without abandon. I still think, even with a good defense, you have a quarterback like Jaden Daniels who can make plays, hasn't had pressure at all throughout this whole tournament. Seems like he's been untouched. They'll go for it on fourth down. They're very, very high-strung of an offense. Dan Quinn has turned into an actual good coach without Kyle Shanahan by his side. Turns out maybe Shanahan was the reason 28-3 happened, not Dan Quinn. But then again, Then again, if you watch the 49ers Super Bowls when Shanahan was the head coach, seems to me he probably already was the problem, but if you didn't already think it, now you do. That he was the problem because he's blown 3 Super Bowl leads. 28-3. 2019 was a 10-point lead. Then he blew the lead last year. Now, granted, he's played 2 greatest of all time level quarterbacks in those 3 Super Bowls, 1 being Tom Brady, 2 being Patrick Mahomes. But that might be the case. But Dan Quinn actually is a very good head coach, turns out. Turns out, very good head coach. He wasn't the problem. Turns out he wasn't the problem. I mean, yeah, Kyle Shanahan's playbook's cool. Thank you, Dan Orlovsky. It's cool to see how big that playbook is. Awesome. Even though there's a lot of big playbooks around training camp time. I mean, look at Chase Daniels' video that he did a while ago about the 2011 Saints playbook, I think. Sean Payton. So, whatever. But we're not talking about playbooks here, but I do like looking at what that looks like for sure. That's fun. That's fun. But yeah, for me, I got Washington going through. I believe in the Commanders. I do. That may be a call that nobody agrees with. That might be a call that people don't think is smart. I'm going to call it. I'm putting it on the line, Washington. Then, you got the Buffalo Bills at the Kansas City Chiefs, the AFC title game. For me, I got the Buffalo Bills winning because you know what? I think both higher-seeded teams, host teams in these matchups are both fraudulent. I really do. I think the Eagles are fraudulent. I think Kansas City's fraudulent. The only difference is Kansas City has a pass game that's alive, and the referees actually want Kansas City to win. And Patrick Mahomes. That's another thing. Patrick Mahomes is leagues better than Jalen Hurts ever will be or is. I will admit that. Patrick Mahomes is not the GOAT. He never will be the GOAT. I don't care if he wins 10 Super Bowls. He will never be better than Tom Brady. I will never let you say that. Besides, Brady beat him head-to-head in 1 Super Bowl. So, in the AFC Championship when Brady won his 6th ring. So, technically, Mahomes should probably have 2 more rings. Brady stopped 2 of those. So, head-to-head, no, Brady's better. But, neither here nor there. Patrick Mahomes is an amazing quarterback. If the Chiefs didn't have him, well, they wouldn't be in this position. Alex Smith was good that 1 year before Mahomes really took over, but, he was really good. But, they did make a divisional round with Alex Smith against the Patriots. So, 2. My bad. But they wouldn't be in this position without Mahomes. This is true. But for me, I think the Bills, they've already beat them once. Speaking of, beat them once already during the regular season. The Bills have already beaten the Kansas City Chiefs at Orchard Park. This is true. But the Bills, and normally when they play in the playoffs, they have already beaten the Chiefs coming into the playoffs in the regular season. That's normally been the story. They win when it slightly matters less than when it really does matter. This is true, but I think that changes because I believe the way the Bills played against the Ravens wasn't pretty. But I think if they played like the first half, the Bills, they will win this match. They're too good of a team to be ref-balled. That's the point. Nobody else the Chiefs played when they played their best players, their best 11, on both sides of the ball, besides the Bills, were good enough to beat them. That is just the true facts. Yes, the Chargers have potential. The Broncos have potential. The Steelers, let's not talk about Mike Tomlin's idiocy and living in his fears and his standard that's completely and utterly bullshit. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the fact that the only team that was good enough to beat the Chiefs when they played their best guys was the Bills. They only have 2 losses. One of them, they threw that damn game. Let's just be real. They really, if they tried, they would have been 16-1. Even though they should have lost on that blocked kick. They should have lost many times this season. The record is what it is. Whether it's help or not, 15-2. Yeah, the Broncos probably should have beat them twice and swept them. I agree with that. Okay. The Steelers game, that was always a loss, even though the refs, Pickens never was down by contact. So, bad call. But that game was still far away if that was even allowed to go through. That game was still far away. Of course, Isaiah Likely was out by a toe. Yeah, there's a lot of things you could say, but what if they wouldn't even be a playoff team? And this is true. But the Chiefs find ways to win, but I don't think it happens Sunday evening. They will lose because the Bills are just better. They're the only team to stand tall. A rebuilding Bills team. They said rebuild, reload before the season. This Bills team will stand firm. They did once. They'll do it again. Buffalo is going to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs' three-peat is dead before they even could get to New Orleans. Which, lovely. But that's what they deserve. So, for me, my predicted Super Bowl is this. We got the Buffalo Bills versus the Washington Commanders. I love that. That sounds like a good Super Bowl. Of course. It's better than Eagles-Chiefs. Hell, it's better than Eagles-Bills. You know? That sounds like an awesome Super Bowl. Or it sounds better than Washington-Kansas City, because I think we all know how that's going to go. We could all hope for 2 weeks, but we all know how that would go. With that being said, there you go. I got Buffalo, Washington. That's what I got. So with that being said, if you like this video, like, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send some chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you tomorrow, 11:25 a.m., 11:30, for Man City versus Chelsea Premier League match. Once again, I know, 2 Premier League matches in 1 month. Wow. It's January, that's why, but still, wow. I know you're shocked. That's a surprise. It's January. That's why. But hey, there you go. With that being said, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. Sunday, AFC title game live, championship game, night, RSRs. RSR for both in it. There you go. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace.